G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is T6M's Widdle Gatwing-Waser, or a laser microgun. So this is pretty much a miniaturized version of the Gatling laser, uses the same animations. Biggest difference, other than the size of the weapon in comparison to a standard Gatling laser, as seen here, is this thing runs on fusion cells instead, and has the same sort of reload animation as the fusion cores in the standard Gatling laser, but it'll be a fusion cell instead, plugged in the right direction. Thank you very much, Cryolator. The customization here is a little bit interesting, because you've got your static capacitors going all the way up to overcharge, same as you get of a standard Gatling laser, including versions that'll have better critical damage, potentially extremely useful, yes. And if we chuck on the overcharge capacitor, get 149 damage with this thing straight off the bat, compared to the 69 giggity damage of the standard Gatling laser. So I think this one's going to be a little bit more powerful, a little bit more suited to end game combat. So right now we've got the standard barrels. You're going to have improved versions of those. Accelerated barrels, which adds many barrels onto this thing. Looks really cool. Improved versions of those, and just like the standard Gatling laser, there's charging barrels with an improved variant, and an overcharging barrel for epic damage and range for a single shot. And as you can tell, the damage that you get out of this is fairly significant. So we'll be looking to try that one out. But for now, I think the best way to run this thing for DPS-wise would be the improved accelerated barrels. Next up, we've got legendary effects provided by legendary modification. And of course, you can make this any damn color you want, provided you've got the proper Creation Club mods to do it. So we've got the Enclave paint on this thing, adds some really cool red lines, and I think there's an Enclave insignia just below there. That's cool. There's one right there as well. That one's upside down though, just how they do the textures when they're mirrored. So there you go. Not a lot of customization, but there's a few little interesting legendary variants out there. I'll show you how to get them, but before we start any further, I just want to mention that I've got a mod. It's called Energy Weapons Calculation Fix, and basically what happens in this game under normal circumstances is your energy guns will not hit for as much as what it will say on the card, because the way they rolled it against armor was like messed up compared to ballistic. So I've got a mod that changes that. So we're going to witness this thing at full power. And compared to a Gatling laser, this is doing significantly more damage with perhaps less rate of fire. But I feel like we're going to have a pretty good time with this thing. So, yep, we'll show you how to get those legendary variants now. But it's going to be a fun weapon to use. Now, the reason why I've sat on this one for so long is that the 6 messages said, this is a joke gun. Maybe it's not even worth using. But look, if you want to sell your weapon mods to me, just say, no, it's fun, use it, and then I will. So, you know, maybe I've been missing out on this thing for a while, but don't worry, we'll be correcting that today. Let's get to the legendaries. The first of the legendaries you won't find here at Proctor Tegan, but if you do a console command, it'll show up. So, should you go into his shop, location is in the Pridwin, the big airship, the Brotherhood of Steel. You can't miss it. It flies over you at the end of Act 1. But it's called Second Opinion, which is interesting. You thought a 2-shot variant would be called Second Opinion. But just like Final Judgment, the rapid Gatling laser, this thing has the 25% faster fire and 50% faster reload for $2 grand, easily done. And we've also bought something else there because UI is great. Now, the console command that I used to actually get this, and we'll just zoom in so you can read it. If you type in set stage space T6M _ item injector _ laser microgun _ Tegan legendary 10, and that'll just get this thing to spawn inside his inventory. If you don't, and you could do it while standing right next to him. You don't have to reload a save or wait 24 hours. It'll just pop right in like magic. But that's how you get it. It's bugged right now. So if you're on PC, you can have access to this thing, provided you can use console commands. The next legendary we'll find here at Natick Banks, or Natick, one of them. Anyway, map references here. This is just where the fast travel point is. You'll find yourself on a street, blue truck trailer hanging on for dear life down the street in front of you, and the Gatling laser in question, or microgun of the laser variety, is hidden in behind this bookstore. There's this house that's barely clinging onto the edge as is, and there's a staircase on your left as you go up. So keep following these stairs up and up and up, and you'll find some dead asshole, and he's got Atom Smasher with him, possibly a reference to Cyberpunk 2077, but also Adam being the typical thing that would make the radiation in the bombs. There's a double meaning here. It's quite clever, and there we go. And my mouse is screwing up, so looks like I'm going to have to reboot the computer, but there's the 2 legendary variants. Righto, we've returned to the Immersive Gunners Plaza today, and here is our Widdle Gatwing-Waser in first person. No sights to speak of, but it's a laser gun that fires fast. We can just use the tracers to adjust our aim on the fly. A quick look at this thing in third person. It's a stubby little runt of a thing, don't you reckon? But performance-wise, it is doing a lot better damage than your standard Gatling laser, so I suppose it'd be superior. Who knows? Looks good in its enclave painting with the stripes running down the barrel there. That's a really cool touch. And here is our second opinion. Just like Final Judgment, this thing has the charging barrels, which fire extremely fast. Faster if you do the old Gatling laser bug, where if you go into third person and crouch using the charging barrels, for some reason it fires faster. So that might be something we pull out in an emergency, I suppose. Here is the Atom Smasher with that gigantic barrel on it, the one shot. So one shot equals a big explosion, I believe. We'll have to see how that goes in a second. And lastly, we've got one here with the standard barrels, but instead of this thing, you know, having the overcharge capacitor, it's got the receiver to increase our critical damage, which might be fairly critical as we go on to take out our enemies. Now, we'll start off by using Atom Smasher here with this gigantic barrel. We won't be able to get a nice view of them through a scope or anything, so I guess we'll just stand behind this stump and charge her up, and there we go. Now there's a mantis eating me. Not cool, bro. So it's like a big laser beam, I suppose. I was expecting like a particle beam explosion type deal, so maybe using this thing... yeah, using this thing in VATS might be the way to go. But before we get too much into this, firstly, we've got to get this insect out of our asses. Let's just shoot people normally. Witness the power of energy weapons like they're supposed to be. Well, you didn't expect me to one-shot all these guys, did you? This is actually pretty good damage, considering the ammo capacity I've got on this, and the rate of fire, the amount of staggering that you get with this thing. It's pretty good, but when it really shines is if you decide to put this thing up to the test in VATS. As you can tell down here, we've got like 1 billion shots with this thing, and for weapons of this, I wouldn't say caliber, that's not the right word for it, but of this stature, they're going to be firing a 10-round burst every time you fire in VATS, and getting that many shots, we're getting close to 1 billion at this point. And with Gun Fu, every target past the 4th is a guaranteed critical, leading to the moments of just infinite crit death, where lasers are literally going through walls. The beams of light are so bright on this thing that can penetrate walls. That's pretty special. Anyways, let's use this version now. Slightly more efficient on the old fusion cells, but it'll still do a good job. I lied about rebooting my computer. I didn't. You saw that mouse lock up just then? Yeah, it's not good. I don't know what causes it, but at least when I was playing some more competitive first-person shooters, well, third-person shooters this afternoon, that didn't happen, which is great. But I'm sure you're all wanting to see how this thing goes whilst utilizing an engine-based bug that hasn't been squashed yet. See, this bug's beneficial, so people aren't going to patch that out. They'll patch out the energy guns not doing as much damage as they should, but this will remain. Sorry, that was the computer again. Just tried to take a nice little hide behind that tree there. Okay, let's use something a little bit different. You know what? Let's bring out the big Atom Smasher again, because this guy, he's gonna cop it. You might notice how there's no... is that a critical explosion? It was as well. Do I get the explosions normally? Oh yes, I gotta charge up the thing. So there is an explosion. I swear there wasn't for a few times, but that's fine. We don't have to worry about the reloading so much in VATS. A lot of shots you can get out of this for very little AP cost. But if you miss, then you're set for a pretty long reload if you don't want to use VATS. But I do. It's doing a really good job. So you might notice that there's no floating damage The reason that is because the energy weapon calculations fix, it's incompatible with floating damage. So we can't exactly tell exactly how much we are doing with this thing. Let's have a bout of the standard barrels using the standard laser gun automatic sounds. Stop it. It does alright, but keep in mind this thing has got the critical capacitor on it. With the rate of fire of this thing as is, and the amount of shots that you get in VATS, it is pretty devastating. Just one critting every single thing. So for a luck-based build, you can't really go too much better than a weapon like this, I'd say. Especially when you've got pretty high agility as that gunner perpetually vibrates. I think I missed on a critical. You don't see that every day, but that gunner cracked the code. If you just vibrate and gyrate back and forth faster than the weapon fires, then the gun has no idea how to hit you. The good thing about using VATS and killing stuff as well is that Grim Reaper Sprint might show up, and that'll give you a little bit more power. Now, I wonder if it gets a faster rate of fire. I'm not really sure. I've noticed that as far as the balance of this thing goes, this is a lot more accurate, but slightly less DPS, I suppose. Or maybe more, who knows, than the standard or the rapid barrels with an overcharge capacitor. I do quite like the accuracy that we're getting out of this, but I think now, of all times, is the perfect time to get something like this going. If we can hit it in the center of the room and kill all three in a single strike. Fire at will, Commander. Or not. Fire at this gunner. There it goes. I got no idea why that wouldn't fire. Like, I understand you gotta charge the thing up in order for it to do it, but still. Would have thought they'd be dead by now, but if they're keen on standing in the corner being blasted over and over, that's on them. Alright, so, Widdle Gatwing-Waser, little laser, big bite. This thing is crushing everything, and perhaps that's why it was more of a joke weapon, because of just how much it outperforms the standard Gatling-Waser, despite being smaller and powered by a lesser battery. But there you go, it does a good job. No classic holstered weapons here. It's a heavy gun. There are mods to you can tweak it to show heavy guns on your back, but they're always clipping something fierce. So unfortunately, it's hidden within the compartments of the suit somewhere. I want to test this thing's limit as I limber up my back, apparently, trying to hit the R key to draw the weapon. I want to test this thing's limits in its ability to kill one target. Now, we're going to have a pretty slow rate of fire here, but I'm thinking if we can get a few really good shots in, and that was a critical just to start us off, hopefully concentrated fire will do a good job in keeping those things going. That's definitely 2 projectiles I'm seeing out of that. Of course, because it's a 2-shot laser Microgun. Sorry, it's been a long week. Wonder if that doubles up the explosions. It might, you know. And probably one more. It'll be a critical. No, we're still going. That's good. It never ends. Oh, I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. Since this thing is still technically automatic, we're trying to do the 10-round burst, but every single shot is being interrupted. Interrupted over and over by the reload. And you'll notice that we're getting the crit on the screen. Am I just stuck in VATS? I mean, I could exit, but why would I say no to all of this damage? Okay, I'm not really sure how that worked. That was kind of odd. Anyways, let's switch over to something a little bit more rapid as we go along. We should be able to chip that health bar away fairly easy, and if we were getting headshots right now, we'd be having a good time. But look at that health, it's just sort of melting away like a glacier in global warming. Alright, next gun. Need to reload this one as well. Let's finish this off using this one. Maybe we'll grind his face for some criticals in the end, even though I'm pretty sure he won't last too long after. There you go. Look, for an energy weapon that's performing like this, is it unheard of? Probably, but I think we're definitely being helped a lot, and I mean a lot, by the energy damage being calculated properly, because, you know, he's a big tanky enemy and he just sort of died really quickly to this thing. You don't see too many energy guns deal that kind of damage, which is great. Alright, let's try the more rapid barrels in a VATS fashion. We've got one critical and hopefully enough damage to take him out in one strike. We're going to have to ask for a little bit of luck when it comes to this, but that's a good start. There's another critical. There's another critical. There's another one. 4-leaf clover activated again. Alright, so that's a pretty good start. There's another critical. Lady Luck sure smiling upon me at the moment. There's another 4-leaf clover for nothing though. That one was slapped away by Todd saying, nope, you get a bug here instead. And whilst AP is regenerating, we've got Minutemen. I've never seen Minutemen here before. But anyways, before he gets to me, I'm just going to crit him in the face, and hopefully with all of this damage, we'll finish him off nice and easy. Now, how helpful are these Minutemen going to be? I'm actually curious. Well, it broke his leg, but other than that, they're all fine. I wouldn't rate the laser musket to be a good frontline weapon against ghouls, but they made it work for themselves, so good on them. Also, I see this little bug here. Here's the inherent inaccuracy in these barrels over range, and obviously being a shorter barrel, the range isn't spectacular anyway. It'll do the job, but you're much easier just, if you want to do that with fusion cells, just use a laser gun and do it instead. Ooh, pretty reflections. But sometimes, not all the time. Alright, I think we can go for one more. We got time. Alright, let's see if the little Gatling laser can cut through all of the Commonwealth bears. Now, what I'm going to do here, we're going to use our version with the charging barrels, and we're going to go in third person and crouch and see if that increases the rate of fire. Well, for starters, we've got a crit, but the pause between our shots is interestingly... It's a long time. We're doing a good enough damage as is, I suppose, but we could probably be doing better. Maybe if we're a little bit closer, we might be slightly out of range of this thing right now. But now, here come the bears, complete with staggers hard enough to completely neuter my camera. Okay, I got bitten by something. I think that's a big boy. Where's my gun? Did I get staggered from using my gun? No, there it is. The gun has been drawn. I had to use VATS to bring it out. Oh boy, too many bears. Too many bears. Move, please. Excuse me? What was I? Okay, that was weird. But I couldn't navigate for a second there. That's fine. Alright, so things are going well. We can cut down the regular bears just fine. And if, you know, vanilla game means that you'll see these guys in much lesser frequency than this, you'd be pretty safe to face down a bear with this thing. Even the dusky bears will not give you too much trouble. But this guy, however, we might change that. And hopefully... Wait, is he stuck? I'm gonna say. Before you get too close, let's just shoot him in the face a bunch of times. Criticals, criticals, criticals. I don't know, it looks like the rapid barrel version with the many different barrels is definitely the strongest when it comes to just melting them slowly with criticals. See, I wanted a laser light show when I picked to fight this during the night. Now all we're getting is giant red screen seizure vision with his head twitching. Okay, that is nerd rage now, so let's use this momentum. The remaining ammunition in this gun might not be able to do it. We'll long jump all the way there because physics go a little bit weird. A little bit weird indeed when you use the when you go into slow motion. You can do super long jumps if you're on jet. And where do you think you're going, mate? I think he's trying to get out of here. That's fine. We've got a crit. We'll chase him away with that. And I don't think that was a hit. That's better. Even if we don't hit, the crits that we generate are going to be fairly on the crucial side. But at this point, I think we're just pissing away our fusion cells. The mysterious stranger showing up is helpful as the bear tries to attack the phantom. And I think at this point, we could probably take him with all of the criticals we've got in hand. Right. Might be a photo finish here. If we don't fire fast enough, then that might be it. Nope. Okay, we got him. Alright. So I think you get the idea that not most energy guns don't take down 3 monsters like that, and that wasn't the easiest fight right there with all the bears chasing me down and staggering me into not being able to fire, but I'd say that the Gatling lasers held up. It's really held it together this time, so yeah, it's a pretty cool weapon. So if you're interested in seeing this weapon in your game, check out the link in the description. If there's a Xbox port, I'll sure to be linking it down there as well. But yeah, in terms of how energy guns work with that little bit of a bug fix, maybe we might be able to check out some other energy guns that have previously been a little bit disappointing just due to fallout bugs, but now we can test them with their true damage numbers. Who knows what we might find, but that's about it for me. Thank you very much for watching, guys.